second basketball session, and this one came at the end of a week where I wasn't really feeling that well. I had to skip a few days because I had a bit of a flu, of a cold that dragged along for a while, and felt like getting some rest was probably the best option, trying not to aggravate any symptom and not to make it longer than it should have been. On this day, it was feeling a bit colder than the previous time when the weather was amazing. So I came a bit later. There were a few people by the only basket that actually has a semblance of a rim. So I started off by the one just next to it and really getting some shot practice in, really. Starting from very close to the basket and then getting progressively farther and farther out. First with just one hand, getting the follow through without any assistance from the left hand, and then moving on to like a normal shot. Probably should do that with my feet on the floor as I am working on the jump shot at the end of the session. So really working on basic mechanics where the dribbling and developing the shot from the ball handling phase isn't really a concern. And this session here was a bit more structured than the previous one, where I was just letting my memories flow and see what I could remember. In here, I was working a bit more on ball handling, so I had a few drills that I had planned for, very, very basic stuff, usual basic crossovers, really trying to shift my weight from side to side, trying really to get a bit of behind the back and between the legs crossover action in there, just simply to try and remember a bit of what I used to know and used to be at least decent at. So the way that I ended up doing everything was basically starting off with some jump mechanics, then again the ball handling, bit of change of direction, and then finishing it all off with some jump shots, really. Because I was also doing some jumping in between, I managed to keep everything within an hour and 20 minutes. Really taking my time, trying to think about what I thought I was doing wrong whenever the ball wasn't getting in. And because I basically recorded the whole thing, it was over an hour, almost an hour of footage overall. So it took me a bit of time to sift through it and come up with a video that kind of gave an overall idea of what I was doing without being too long, especially because these were mainly the only exercises that I was doing. I just did a bunch of sets of everything, trying to get into the groove, but not to do too much that it exhausted me mentally. There's a lot to revisit and relearn, so because I only am able to devote one day of the week where I can actually get this done, definitely progress is going to be slow. And the jumping also wasn't that great. What I kind of cemented in the experience is that the left-right approach is not as snappy as the right-left, which kind of makes sense. I feel like that it seems more natural to me to do right-left as a two-step approach. I didn't do any one-leg jumping. Didn't want to really put too much on the table, so I just stayed at that. And again, the aim is touching the rim at some point. If it takes me a month or two, is no big deal. At least it's good, as I said the last time, to have something to really aim for, and also something to be able to shoot at. It feels really good to see the ball hitting the net. That's probably one of the best feeling that I can think about in sports. Same thing as scoring a goal in football. I think that for me, hitting the clean net with the basketball is probably the best sensation, and it's great to be able to get this rolling again. If the weather stays like this and the rain doesn't really catch me, then I'll be a happy guy. Ciao.